Today I'm giving you 3 reasons why a one-handed backhand is better than a two-hander. And by the end of this video, you'll know if this shot is right for you. The first benefit of a one-handed backhand is that we get more reach. This is because our left arm isn't essentially stopping us from extending. We could reach considerably farther without having this, what I call added resistance on the racket. Although a two-hander does have its pros over a one-hander, which I'll be going over at the end of this video. But essentially, a one-hander is a little bit more maneuverable. We can hit a little bit more extreme angles that we wouldn't be able to get with a two-hander, such as sharp angles cross-court. Now, another benefit of a one-handed backhand that we don't get with the two hands is a quick transition to a slice. And this is easier if you're in a defensive situation. You can also disguise the slice. You can hit a drop shot and your opponent won't really know what to do with it. So I don't always recommend hitting slice, but it is needed in some scenarios. Maybe if the serve is coming at you pretty hard, instead of hitting a two-handed return, you could reach and hit a slice. And if you're already a one-hander, this will be easier for you. Now, the third benefit of having a one-handed backhand is actually that you'll get more power. This is again because of the concept I was talking about earlier with having resistance from the left arm on the racket. And if you're able to get the technique properly, like I myself have pretty much mastered it, you will actually be able to rip the ball way harder. You will get way more power because, again, there's nothing really holding you back. And if you're nice and loose and relaxed, you can really unleash it. And one-handers that have transitioned from two hands to one hand will understand what I'm saying. I've pretty much hit a one-hander my whole life. There was a few years in my premature career, maybe 2 or 3 years where I did have a two-hander, but I'm not going to count that. It wasn't serious. So yeah, I've been trained with a one-handed backhand since I was very, very young. Now, here's the thing about the one-handed backhand where there are some cons, and let me explain them to you. So the first thing is, if you don't have perfect technique or a strong enough arm, this is not the shot for you. Now, perfect technique can take you a long way, but the reason they don't teach the one-hander to young children anymore is because they struggle with specifically just getting power, but the main issue is actually dealing with high balls. Now, this plays a part with your strength, but also, like I said, the technique. And I did actually make a video on how to deal with high balls specifically for the one-handed backhand. I actually made that yesterday, so check that out if you're interested. But essentially, this is a huge issue for most people, and especially if you're a shorter player, this could be a disadvantage, and it will be a disadvantage for the first few years of your junior career. Like myself, I would consider myself a late bloomer in the game of tennis where I didn't really see my best results until I was about 15 or 16. And now I'm an even better player as I've gotten the concept of being able to get over the ball. I'm also 6'5", so this does come a little bit easier than most people. I've got a little bit more leverage. I'm actually almost hitting down over the net at this point on most shots that I hit. So you do need to do your research and obviously take it to the court, experiment. If your one-hander is going to hold you back and you're not willing to have 3 or 4 years where things aren't going to go so well and you can't really see yourself, persevering through that, then that's okay. There's actually more players on the pro tour with two-handed backhands, and one-handers are actually what I would consider a dying breed nowadays. So, don't feel bad if you don't want to wield this burden, because it can be very beneficial, but there is also some risk involved. So consider all your options first. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and please subscribe for more educational tennis videos. Thanks. Most tennis coaches want to sell you a bunch of private lessons. Their instructions are vague, their technique is wrong, and often they want you to hit as many balls as possible while paying them. I offer a tennis fundamentals course that will teach you how to essentially bulletproof your game. You can find it in the link below, and check that out if you're interested. I also do professional shot analysis, and you can reach me at this email if you would like a 24-hour turnaround with an on-court video response where I will diagnose what you're doing wrong, I will demonstrate your mistakes, I will correct them for you, and we will also follow up with a video call. Ciao.